go-kart, and we were going what seemed pretty fast, and I hit a bump in this neighborhood, ran him completely over in a go-kart. That was pretty cool. That's my first guy. The brick. I didn't kill him.
You might want to, it's fine. Keep it low for a while. Anyways, we got a good show on Father's Day today.
We've got some good stuff lined up today.
A lot of guests.
Yeah, we got 3 total people I think we'll be talking to on the schedule. I think we'll talk to Brian the Insider about the horse race from yesterday. He'll tell us about that. We got Jesse Dorsey from the Bleacher Report, talk some NBA. We got Garrett Tucker to talk some recruiting, some high school recruiting. So
a lot of top 100 camp going on right now. Bull fans, Anton Gill and Quentin Snyder are dominating, actually. I've been watching the updates from Garrett, from all the other guys that have been up to like 1 in the morning. They've been going. It ended last night, I do believe. Today it's over with the top 100 camp in Virginia. It went well. Seriously, that was just taking over each game. Game or two he didn't shoot well, but he was still showing that he's a point guard. He was getting assists out there and whatnot. We're not sure that Jabari Parker, the #1 player in the class, is going to commit in November to wherever he wants to go. What are your feelings on where he'll go? Honestly, I don't know much. Isn't he BYU or something like that? No. Mormon Bar, he's not going to go to BYU. Kentucky's on his list. Louisville's on his list.
That's a stereotepe.
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't appreciate it.
Exactly. You're stereotyping.
Sure, I'm stereotyping. I'm not mean. I mean, when was the last time you knew of a Mormon to play for Kentucky?
Well, I don't know any of them.
No.
Or Duke.
Or is that any of our business?
Exactly. Who cares? Who cares?
I'm not judging. I'm just pointing out.
I'm just saying, you're sounding pretty judgy over there.
I'm not judging. I love Mormons. Every Mormon I've ever known has 14 schools on his list.
That's why I have no idea what I have no feeling, not putting out there. I will say Carl Towns, he did make the Dominican Republic team. He's a 2015 #1 player. He's going to be coached by Calipari. He was.
Yeah, Calipari, you said it right. I like it.
Sorry. No. I like it. Well, I got it now. Eloy Vargas got cut. Edgar Sosa, and he unfortunately was cut as well after a great recovery. I mean, he broke his shin in half less than a year ago.
He actually fully recovered?
Oh, he was playing this past week, which is unbelievable.
Wow.
I would think that injury would take at least a year. We were going to talk to Dr. Myrick on Friday, but he was actually took a vacation. We were going to talk to him about that, how he got back so quick. Because if you remember that injury, Danielle, that was disgusting.
You want me to send you the picture again, Danielle?
Danielle, do you ever see the picture of his leg?
Yes, I have seen it.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I was like, he's already fully recovered.
Yeah, he got back. He got cut, unfortunately. I would like to see Sosa make it just because he got back. So we'll talk to Gary about that at 11:45. We'll see Jesse Dorsey 11:30, and then who knows what time Brian Insider's going to call us. He's just kind of in his own world out there.
Yeah, he'll be talking to us about what he says was a big night at the track.
Did you see
Yeah, I heard about that.
He was running down track house, and he definitely had to mess something up.
2 of the horses looked pretty bad. One was a somersault.
Yeah, the second one probably collapsed because the first one collapsed, I'm assuming.
One of them appeared from, I haven't seen the follow-up on that, but one of them, I would say, certainly didn't.
One of them I know didn't make it. There was a girl at the bar I was at last night. She came in and she was like, and her friend was like, how is Down South Dark? She was like, I made one bet on a horse and then it died.
Yeah, that was definitely that first horse. That's crazy, It had to mess up one step, it just collapsed. The jockey got rolled over. I'm sure he's okay. I forgot to tell him. We'll talk about it inside.
Yeah, Ron the Greek beats the favorite, Wise Dan, to win the Stephen Foster handicap.
Stephen Foster's kind of big, isn't it?
It is. We'll have Brian tell us how big it is. I mean, I've heard of it.
Yeah, we've heard of it. Let's get into it, though. I just want to put it out there, KentuckySports.co, we got our sweet little calendar where it's got odd events up and down. Cool. Cincinnati Reds, UK UVA updates, but also general. Today is the anniversary of O.J. Simpson running for the Cops in the Bronco. It's also, let's see, Mike Tyson got in a fight with like a woman.
I added that one on there. This calendar feature is just awesome. Right when we got the site going, shortly after, right?
I stayed up for 3 nights in a row.
I added quite a bit to it also. It's really cool just making an ongoing calendar. Something significant happens, we're like, oh, we need to put that in. Just in 5 years, every single day, it'll just be filled up. And we'll be like, did you know today is the day that Sosa hit the shot to beat Kentucky at the buzzer. You
would go right to that. You would go right to that.
1988, Mike Tyson had the bright idea to beat his wife.
Is that Robin? What's her face?
I don't know. It doesn't have that on
here. She was on that show that replayed on BET a lot. She's very pretty.
It's just simple stats. Simple stats to just keep you updated. What's going on in the past?
Your vital life. Right?
Tomorrow there's a Reds no-hitter that happened.
And I think it's not just a no-hitter. I think it's actually, correct me, I can't see it right now, a no-hitter that the Reds lost despite throwing a no-hitter. Is that right?
That kind of happened last year, if you remember, with Travis Wood against the Phillies. He threw a no-hitter through 9 innings. They went to extra innings and lost. You remember that? Against Roy Halladay?
So it wasn't, I do remember it. It wasn't an official no-hitter.
It wasn't an official no-hitter.
This guy threw an official no-hitter. And because it wasn't, like
baseball,
Matt Cain the other day, it wasn't a Matt Cain perfect game. Obviously, could have allowed a ton of runners. Could have given up a ton of runs.
That Cain of that perfect game was unbelievable because the center fielder in the bottom of the 7th inning, there's always one great play in every perfect game, and the center fielder just laid out full extension over his shoulder, made the catch, saved the game. That was awesome. What about baseball, Danielle? Have you been keeping up the Reds?
A little bit.
Awesome.
I saw a lot of the game last night because now I have cable and internet.
Oh, you got it. Wait.
Yeah. Oh,
you moved out, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to move out yesterday.
That's right. So are you back home?
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for things. But
waiting on things to, work out.
Waiting on that. So right now I have cable and internet, and it's pretty fantastic, and I can watch whatever I want.
It is fantastic.
I can watch Euro Cup. I can watch baseball. I don't care if I don't like it. I can still watch it. It's great.
I'm excited about the Euro Cup. My Englishmen are doing well. Cincinnati, though, they're 37-27, 10 games over 500 for the first time all season. They've won 5 in a row, coming off the sweep of Cleveland. They're going for another sweep today of the Mets. Then they go back to Cleveland tomorrow. The Reds are hot, Kelly. Obviously, we all love the Reds here. It's great. How about Joey Votto? There's a post on ESPN, I believe you brought this up yesterday, John.
Yeah, I retweeted it from John. Let me find it. But yeah,
comparing him to, they're saying that Joey Votto is having a Babe Ruth type of season.
Yes.
Which is, Babe Ruth type of season. That's all you really need to say. That's unbelievable. He's batting over 350, getting over 360, I believe now. It was Homer Bailey. I know me and you have gone back and forth about Homer.
Tyler thinks Homer's no good.
I still believe Homer's had a great season. I said that earlier, but I still not going to let 8 games judge my Homer. What I believe about his stupid arrow tattoo on his forearm. And if Homer keeps it up all season, I would change my mind. Homer's good, but until then, he's got to have at least a year or two.
A lot of Reds fans do not like Homer Bailey. Is there a reason behind it?
I know Coach is saying he's 26, but he's been here for 26 years, it feels like. He's been in Cincinnati for a long time.
Does that change how old he is?
Yeah. No, he's been a Red since, I agree, 19 or 20 years old.
Yeah, same goes for Jay Bruce.
Yeah, but Jay Bruce, and Jay Bruce is the most inconsistent hitter, but I always like Jay Bruce. He's a former bat.
Homer Bailey has had a reputation, I guess somewhat similar to Matt Latos, in that he's kind of standoffish, maybe arrogant. He has had that reputation. I don't know that he's actually, I don't know him. I'm not saying he is.
That sounds awesome. I like him. If that's the point.
He does look like Christian Bale.
He does. Brad Steen brought that up, didn't he? Yeah, Reds rap.
He kind of does.
He does look like Christian Bale. Where's Christian Bale from? What's that show?
Batman. He was Batman.
Right. This is on the baseball topic. Joey Votto is currently on pace, as of when this article was written yesterday, on pace for 201 hits and an incredible 136 walks. If he can keep that up, he'd be in ridiculously rarefied territory, because only one player in history has ever drawn that many walks in a 200-hit season. And I'm betting you heard of him, is Babe Ruth.
That's ridiculous. 200-plus hits for a power hitter is ridiculous. 100-plus walks is obvious. He's leading MLB in walks. He's batting .359. I love Joey Votto. I think the average baseball fan, not Reds fan, should probably like Joey Votto.
Is he underappreciated nationally?
I think so. I think he actually was on Dan Patrick last weekend and talked to him about, Dan Patrick brought up, where's the hype? Where's all the hype at? Did he? Yeah, but and then it's a good question. Where is it? The Reds are first place. They're one of the best teams in baseball, and really no hype. I want to get to somebody right now because I know he wanted to call in and talk to me. Talk Friday. Got a little argument. Hanson, how you doing this morning?
All right, buddy. How you doing?
Doing well. It's a beautiful Sunday morning.
I gotta tell you, as a Reds fan like you are, how you disappointed home? I think what it is, when he come up through the farm system, he was so dominant. He was just striking out batters. That's all you heard was over.
And that's what he was talking about. That's what kind of shot out to me with Votto.
Well, I got to tell you something. I think Joey Votto, I mean, him and Josh Hamler is the best player in the game. I think it's hard to compare him to Ted Williams yet, but he's a hitting machine like Ted Williams is. I mean, he's a hitting machine. I'm not saying he's going to hit 400, but you bet 350, 360. That's unbelievable. And look at the last month he batted over 500.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You know, he's on his way to 400.
I got to tell you something. You know, I remember the Big Red Machine at 49 years old. Big Red Machine was just awesome. And there's so many gigolos on that team. I tell you something. Reds is overdue to hit a good run.
Yes, sir.
Within the playoffs, and maybe win a world championship. You know, out here, and as a Reds fan, and you suffered two through the years, I think it's time, don't you?
I totally agree. Obviously it was 1990, the last World Series. I was only 3. So obviously, I 3 or 4.
You're way overdue.
I'm way overdue. I'm way overdue. You know, I need this title. I know I'm putting on my red shady glasses. I'm not just saying that because I love the Reds. I'm being dead serious.
And I got to tell you something about it. I mean, you know how much I love it. A team on Floyd Street, the University of Louisville basketball team. I'm way overdue for a championship. You understand? I mean, it's good for 86. I'm way overdue, and I got a feeling this year could happen. What do you think about that, partner?
You know, for Louisville basketball, I'm with you. I mean,
honestly, I think this year is the chance.
Yeah.
This is their best chance they're going to have in a while, so they better take advantage of it. That's what you got to do.
Well, I got to tell you something. I mean, with this lineup, and there's no way. I mean, you know, you think back and, you know, the injuries, and I mean, it's been crazy since been here. And I had Ellis Miles on the show Friday, and I asked Ellis, does Coach P get a bad rep for players getting hurt? He said, no. So he said, man, I went through it. He said, it's just unfortunate things happen. You know, and if they stay healthy, and there's no way they're going to shoot the basketball because it's the worst shooting team I've ever saw in my life. It's a U of L fan.
For sure.
They're not going to shoot the basketball like they did. You got to admit, too, that defense they play is off the chart.
Oh, yeah, I've said it since, you know, we started our show on Thursdays. I know we're getting up to a break here, but I think I've always been a Rick Pitino fan. I might not like the University of Louisville, but I've always been a Rick Pitino fan. Obviously, he hounds defense since, you know,
imagine why you why keep you burned out back from almost a death penalty.
Yeah.
The promised land.
You're not right. Answer that, you know, I appreciate the call as always. We'll go up against
See, always a pleasure, buddy. Have a good Father's Day to your father, buddy.
All right, you have a good Father's Day, my man.
Good stuff there.
Good stuff. I like
it. Showing that he's got a little.
Yeah, he called. We talked to him Thursday or Friday with Rashawn in the morning.
Talking Reds?
And he's been waiting to call to talk about Reds today because I told him to call today when we talk about Reds on Sunday.
I love it. Handsome showing he's man of many.
He was the Reds. He told me down Friday. I love that. Makes me like him a little bit more even though he's a Cardinal fan. Let's get to a break. Matt's waving at us, going crazy behind the magic glass. This is Weekend Sports Buzz. Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz on 1450 AM.
There's a long shot down the right field line into the corner. That ball is a second deck blast. Home run for Jay Bruce. Wow, he absolutely tattooed that thing. Number 15 of the year for Bruce, giving 44 runs batted in, and the Reds do indeed break out in front early, 3-0 on number 15 by Jay Bruce.
At the beginning of the week, the Reds were staring at a 2-4 homestand. However, that changed very quickly to a winning homestand as the Reds swept the Cleveland Indians when they did so in very fine fashion. They played very, very well that series, scoring a lot of runs, and the pitching was very good, with the exception of Mike Leake, who did not make it out of the inning. Friday and Saturday resulting in wins, the Reds now won 5 games in a row, and are now atop first place by themselves with 4 games separating between them and the Pirates. It's an exciting time to be a Reds fan. Also, I'd like to report that according to ESPN, Joey Votto is having a year that is comparable to Peggy Bird. Fellas, I'd like to think that it's a mighty fine company to be in. All he does is hit the ball, and it is an absolute pleasure watching him bat. Fellas, like I said, it's an exciting time to be a Reds fan. They're in first place as they inch closer and closer to the All-Star break. After that All-Star break, you gotta imagine their chances increase exponentially. You know, Scott Rowland's coming off the disabled list. I'd like to think that Dusty's smart enough to realize that Todd Frazier has played absolutely outstanding and deserves a chance, and that Scott Rowland would be a great bat off the bench. When Todd Frazier's in the starting lineup, the Reds are 22-11. I think, like I said, I think he's deserved that spot. But you never know with Dusty because he likes to go with the better. That's all for me. I'm Brad Steve from 1450, the Sports Buzz.
Drums, please!
Go back to Weekend Sports Buzz. Of course, you just caught our weekly Reds update we have every Sunday from our Reds wrap-up in Northern Kentucky. Brad Steen, he does great stuff for us. Oh, I was like, what is that going on? It's the music. What is it? Oh, yeah, I can't ask you, can I? Can we get the title of the song, Matt?
It's summertime.
Oh,
Are you crazy?
I don't know music anymore.
DJ Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince.
Okay, well, see, she's already on top of the theme here. She probably already knows it.
There could be a lot of things here, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, of course, that was Brad's team.
One song.
It's great. He does our weekly Reds, little quick hitter there for everybody, little updates. Of course, we just talk Reds, but I mean, Brad's up there. He's at every game. I feel like he's always there. We get in the mold of things, so we always appreciate Brad.
I actually have a question about the Indian series.
Okay.
Mostly because I didn't see it, and you all can enlighten me. All I know is that I have a bunch of friends who are from around Cleveland, and so they're all big Indian
and they're
fans.
crying because they got swept.
Well, something happened. What did Matt Latos do to some Indians dude? And did he purposely hit him or something?
Dusty instructed him, I believe. Did you read about this?
No.
Over something from back when he was at the
Derek Lowe.
Yeah.
Derek Lowe. Did you read about
Yes,
that?
Biggest
Derek Lowe.
prick in baseball. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why the Braves let him go. No, dead serious.
Okay.
Brad would have tested this.
Well, anyway.
He may be the biggest prick, but yeah, that was interesting. Are you asking we don't know what he did. We don't know what he did. Dusty said that something happened in the past.
So that's why I couldn't figure out what he did.
Yeah, nobody knows.
So they nailed one of the batters. That's right.
I'm throwing that
He farted on his peanut butter sandwich. We're just gonna put that out there on the radio.
Something along those lines.
That Latos did. Okay.
I don't know that it was a peanut butter sandwich. It was something very close to that, though. No, but
sources to be confirmed.
Yes, I mean, he was. They're very mad at each other. Derek Lowe, Dusty Baker.
That seems like a heated rivalry. Dusty Baker at the age of 70 years old and Derek Lowe throwing 87 miles an hour. That's a heated rivalry right there, if I've ever seen one. That's so random. I mean, that is interesting. Did you see, they punked Votto, actually, the first game of the Mets series after we got a home run. It definitely seemed like it was on purpose. He was very pissed off until Brandon Phillips yard worked the next pitch. And just, don't hit our best player. Don't hit the best player in baseball. You will get... I almost drove in New York. You don't hit Joey Votto. He's my man. Anyways, U.S. Open's going on. I know it's awesome. Have you all been keeping up at all? Watching any bit of Tiger?
I keep up just like the media seems to. When Tiger's in the running,
I watch every golf
coverage.
I watch golf tournaments even Tiger was out for the last 4 years. I love golf. So screw the media that just only picks up only when he's doing well, which is true. It's very true that, it's golf is not...
More exciting. I'm going to tell you, but he's the most exciting person in golf.
That's why I started golfing. I know that, but...
I mean, he just is. When you watch it, I don't hate golf, but it is super boring with the people who are in it now. There are a few Bubba Watson. Bubba Watson's exciting. He got people excited with the Masters. Mm-hmm. A lot of people like that dude with the hair that I hate. I can't even look at him.
Who?
Ricky Fowler.
Okay. I don't like Ricky Fowler either.
I want to push him into the lake.
He pops his collar, that's the reason. And he wears his hat up.
And on Sunday, he wears his Oklahoma State all orange with his, hair and his,
Do you go to Oklahoma State? I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure if it comes on here, we'll see him.
Doesn't he also do some extremes? Is that
who cares about Ricky Fowler?
He needs to get some extreme hair cutting, but anyway.
Hey, Danielle, you brought up Graham McDowell. He is tied first. I thought he was in second. He's tied.
He was, yeah.
Big shot, Jim Furyk. They're both at -1. 2 shots above Frederick Jakobsen. He's at +1. Then everybody else goes down the list. +2, +3.
Where's my man Rory?
Rory did not make the cut. He struggled. He was last year's U.S. Open winner. U.S. Open winners never repeat. He had a horrible first weekend. First 2 days, Thursday, Friday.
Maybe he had something to do.
Yeah.
The last 2 days, and he was like, I'm just gonna.
I mean, he had a win one. It's fine. Jim Furyk, he has one major. It was the U.S. Open 12 years ago, I do believe. It's been a while, yeah. I want Tiger to win. I'm Team Tiger all the way, 100%, even when he's going through hell. I don't care. But if Jim Furyk took it home, I'd be okay with it. If he beat Tiger, I'd like that. I don't Westwood else to win. I know a foreigner's won the U.S. Open 4 or 5 years in a row now. I'm not saying that's why. I'm just saying You just said a foreigner's won though. Yeah, that's right. Foreigners won 5-6 years in a row now. So I just said it's a stat. My bad. I won't say it next time.
I'm not saying you shouldn't say it. I'm just saying the U.S. Open. Explain. That's what I was like.
U.S. Open's coming back to America this year with Jim Furyk or Tiger Woods. Daniel, is Tiger your favorite golfer?
He always will be. I feel like it's a thing with people our age growing up. When we were growing up, none of us really cared about golf. But Tiger was so exciting. He was this young guy, and he was so different, and it was just so exciting.
Okay, who's your favorite golfer?
It's just.
Never asked you that.
I don't have a favorite golfer.
No. Just like you like the sport?
I like the sport. I'm not so much, I never really played it as much as my dad and brother do, for whatever reason. But I don't have a problem with it. I would love to get older and get into playing it. I saw an inspirational thing about a guy who
better do something. You were going to say something?
No, do you remember, like, one of my favorites when I was a kid?
John Daly.
Oh, the man. He might be my favorite golfer.
Of course he's your favorite golfer.
Entertaining golfer.
He's my favorite golfer. Seriously.
He's
Because he's an alcoholic.
He's so entertaining.
No, he's just blunt. He's like Barkley. I mean, he was very...
I like that. I remember loving John.
His clothing line he has.
I have heard of it.
Unbelievably absurd, but it's awesome. It's John Daly.
Yeah, he's just.
But then you got.
Bring him back.
I want to talk about Bo Hosler, whatever it is. He's 17 years old. He is tied for 8th place. He is 3-4 shots back only. He's an amateur. He's like I say, he's got a year of high school left. Wow. He's going to Texas in 2 years. He's committed to defending national championships in the golfing realm. What if he wins the U.S. Open, Danielle? Okay. Does he take his $1.5 million purse prize, erase your amateurism, drop your college golf experience, you can still go to college, or do you take, I want it as an amateur, I'm just going to stick with it. You know, I'm going to go to college and play college golf, keep my amateurism.
If someone offers me $1.5 million,
and a full two-card U.S. Open exemption the rest of your life,
I will probably just, take that.
You would take the money and play golf?
Yeah. To do anything. It's just going to be, we're good.
We're going to get Carolina Steve on the line. And he's my avid golf guy. I know we're going to get out there here soon. How are you doing this morning?
He's fine, and he cannot declare himself a pro. He has to do that before the tournament.
Oh, yeah, okay. So if he wins, he can't take the money.
No, he can turn pro, but he will not get any money. I believe all that the amateur winner gets is a medal.
Wow.
But if he finishes at the top, I think 10 or 15, that is an automatic exemption into the Masters.
Yeah, automatic exemption to the Masters. I mean, if he won this, Carolina, what would that do for golf? I'm pretty sure an amateur has never won a major. It would kind of be like a 16 beating a 1.
Yes, an amateur has won the major.
Really? With the U.S. Open? The U.S. Open?
U.S. Open and British Open.
Wow. When was this?
Back in the 20s.
Oh, I mean, golf is golf. There's no errors in golf. I mean, everybody plays well, scores well. I definitely didn't know that. But in these days, it hasn't happened in, obviously, 100 years now. If it happened with the new equipment and whatnot, to me, it would be a step, I mean, it would be unbelievable to me.
It would be great. But there's two people, Scott McClank and Phil Mickelson, can do and done something Tiger Woods could never do.
What's that?
They won pro tournaments as amateurs.
That's right. I knew Phil won one. I didn't know Scott McClank did. I knew Phil won a tournament.
The old Western Open. He beat one of my friends on the Champions Team, Jim Thorpe, in the playoffs.
Nice. Okay, let me ask you, who is your number one golfer over your time?
Over all time is the king.
Oh yeah? I can't just. What about? Go ahead.
He was the one that really I started following, and not just because he played at Wake Forest University.
No, not at all.
He is a great golfer, a great man. Right now, I gotta tell you, the man who owns the General Lee is my favorite right now.
Bubba Watson. That's right. I remember you telling us that.
Here's something people do not know. If they had not changed the rules this year, he would have made the cut.
I saw that.
His team was the top 60 of anybody within 10 shots. So if he would have, if they would have changed that, Bubba would have made the cut on the number at +9. So that's one thing I'm kind of getting. But you got to kind of admire him the way he adopted that baby and the way the attention he's played to it. And I don't know, he said they don't like Ricky Fowler. But Ricky Fowler is one of my favorite golfers too. Not just because he babysits for Bubba either.
Does he actually babysit for Bubba? Because that's kind of
actually, him and Bubba real good friends. They developed that during the Ryder Cup. And they showed on the morning drive when Ricky was at Bubba's house where he slept on Bubba's couch.
Wow. Now you see, Ricky Fowler, I'll give you, is exciting. He's a good golfer. He's young. He's exciting. I can't look at him because of the hair, Carolina Steve. The hair needs to be cut. I wish Bubba would talk to him about it.
Justin Bieber, and I don't like Justin.
It's worse than Bieber. It's like Bieber, but he's like, he lost his barber's number, and he just hasn't been able to stop by the shop.
Carolina, we're coming up on a break. Quickly, let me ask you, who's going to win the race, the NASCAR Sprint Cup at Michigan today?
It's a crapshoot because they changed tires on the left side, and nobody knows what's going to happen. But 3 years ago, Junior won the race.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time on Father's Day that Junior has ever driven a black car, so watch out for the 88 today.
That's a great point. I'm going to pull for Junior today as well. Carolina, as always, I appreciate the call. Be listening. Matt, talk to you next week. Matt, do we need to go break or? Okay, let's go ahead and go to our break, and then when we come back, we're going to get on Brian, the inside of horse racing buddy, to talk about the Stephen Foster just went off.
Yep, Stephen Foster last night.
Stephen Foster.
And some changes to the rules.
Yes, that's a good point. I'll have to ask him. We'll be right back.
Just a bit of a break from the norm. Just a little something to break from the line. A lot of hardcore dance that has got to be a little bit out of control. Food depends on what about food, to move romance. Give me a soft little mix. Is that okay? Hold it for 4 minutes. Is that okay with a hold it for 4 more minutes?
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz on 14:50 AM. You missed last week. You missed this.
Absolutely. This Weekend Sports Buzz, where you listen to the most god-awful regional music by Michael
Thinking on this music.
Hey, well, I know we do.
Oh my goodness, Kelly, you smell horrible. You just crop dusted this whole room. Yes, you did. But for real, Matt. I know we do a music theme for every Sunday show. We take a guest at the end, but this is just awful. Like, that's the things you gotta deal with. Where do you find this junk?
Who was that?
Well, it was Callie and your wife. It's on the other time.
It's a cover of Living on a Jet Plane by some chick with a super high.
Don't focus on the singers, just focus on the song names.
Kids on the block, California kids, Chinese food makes them exist. That's right when it's hot pop in the summer. I like girls that wear.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Got an HOP clip to bring us in there too. From last week. That was good stuff. That was some crop dust in our studio. That really was just based on nothing.
Regardless. No, it wasn't. It was based on you smelled like, yeah. You came from the bathroom. You said awful smell,
And I went in there and peed real quick. I mean,
they did something.
Maybe you should have stayed in there longer. Got it all out.
Did we run out of toilet
Before
paper?
you came back. Before you came back.
do we have any callers?
Yes. Yeah, we got Brian the Insider.
All right,
Way to change the subject. We'll come back.
we've got Brian the Insider on the line with us. How you doing today, Brian?
Oh, I'm doing great, guys. How's everyone doing this morning?
Doing a hell of a lot better that Kelly's not crop dusting us this week.
Hey, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
You know, I'm not saying thanks. Kelly, come on.
Thank you. I am a father,
Yeah.
Brian.
Yep, Kelly.
One of the things we were going to talk.
Two beautiful children.
Oh, thank you.
Aww.
One of the things that we were going to talk about here was the Stephen Foster Memorial last night. All that I really know about it, Brian, is I know the name of the winner. I know that there was a dramatic accident on the track. What happened?
Let me correct you there. First of all, it was after the race. It was the next race after that.
Okay.
A horrific spill in the race, the 9th race. The Stephen Foster Handicap was the 8th race on the card. But and I was watching races earlier in the day at Belmont. John Velasquez, one of the best jockeys, if not the best jockey in going right now. He flew from Belmont, New York, over to run at Churchill last night. And he actually was in the Foster, and he was on the favorite Wise Dan, and just got beat by a nose in the Foster, and we'll talk about that in a second. But he ended up in the hospital. He spent the night at Audubon last night, so my prayers go out for John. Hopefully he'll make a speedy recovery. Horrific. If you haven't seen it, it was a horrific spill right in front of the grandstand, and it was.
Did they unfortunately have to put the horse down?
Yeah. The rider, the horse that he was on, I think the horse's name was Mr. Producer. Mr. Producer did have to be euthanized on the track.
Matt, you're going down. He's not listening. Anyways, to the Stephen Foster, obviously, I didn't even know that Stephen Foster was already here. I thought it was another week or two away. It came up quick.
Always runs about the middle of June.
Well, give us the update of it. Kelly, you threw out the winner. Was it?
It was a heck of a race. I tell you what, it looked like Nate's Mineshaft was going to steal the race from the front end. It was a great field of 8 horses, and Nate's Mineshaft led the whole way. It looked like he was going to steal it, but it was a mile and 1/8 race. So it got a little long in the end, and then the favorite Wise Dan, who has just thrown up huge speed numbers this year, he took over, and it looked like he had it won. And then out of nowhere, Ron the Greek came blowing up the inside, looked like a Calvin Burrell move, stole the rail, and won by a head, paid $20, and it was just a fantastic race, won by Bill Mott. But let me tell you guys, once again, and if you've never been to the night racing, what a live, great crowd. Matter of fact, I'm still brushing the cobwebs out of my head a little bit from last night, but once again, a filly stole the show, and it was in the race before that, before the Foster. They ran the Florida Lee, Grade 2, and Royal Delta. And for those horse racing enthusiasts might remember Royal Delta, she won the Breeders' Cup Classic, Ladies Classic, over this Churchill strip. She came back and she romped, and her time was about a second better than the Foster over the same strip, same distance, and she won for fun. I mean, they geared her down in the last furlong or two, and I mean, she was beautiful looking filly before the race, and she would have won the Foster if she would have been in it. I mean, she swept by those horses, and it could fill a fillies for the Florida Lee. But interesting to tell you, horse racing is still alive. After she won the Ladies Breeders' Cup, she was sold at auction for $8.5 million. Royal Delta, and they chose to bring her back. Now, obviously, most of that money was for her, breeding, so she could, have babies. But they decided to race her because she was such a good runner, and they brought her back. And what a powerful performance out of Royal Delta! In my opinion, she stole the Foster. Now, on the Foster undercard, she stole the show.
Good stuff. So it was an exciting, good race, good night at the track for the industry overall. One of the things that I've heard a little bit about, Brian, is the changes to the graded earnings, the way you can get into the Derby. Can you kind of give us a synopsis, I guess, of what kind of changes are they implementing and why?
Yeah, what they did was they completely revamped it. It had been, to get into the Derby and the Oaks, it was graded earnings. So any graded race in North America, and a few select graded races across the country, as long as you performed in those graded races, you got graded earnings, and it could be at any distance. What Churchill did was they said, look, first of all, the Derby's a mile and a quarter, so we're going to designate it's a point system now. It's not total, it's a total point system, and heavily favored to the later races later in the spring before the Derby, Florida Derby, stuff like that. And they excluded some races that had produced Derby winners, notably the Illinois Derby. There's no points at all for the Illinois Derby. Really what happened is Churchill Downs, and I love Churchill Downs, but they basically said, hey guys, don't forget, this is our race. We get to set the rules. We'll tell you how you're going to get in or not. So it's a point-based system. No race less than a mile, which is probably the biggest thing I've noticed in reading over it. No race less than a mile will get you any points into the Derby. So it's a selected. Churchill got to choose the races. I personally think the reason they left the Illinois Derby off of it, because it's run at competitor Hawthorne's racetrack. Churchill owns Arlington in Chicago, and there's another racetrack in Chicago called Hawthorne, and then they host the Illinois Derby. And Churchill said, we're going to make that race insignificant now because it's not important, and we don't own it. So it received mixed reviews. I know Bob Baffert really came out against it. I like it. It's not. It's a different system. It probably needs to be tweaked a little bit, but I think it's heading in the right direction. But the biggest thing I noticed, guys, is that it's the no race of less than a mile is going to give you any points at all.
Huh. So it seems like a strategic move by the Churchill Downs to try to, kind of take control of the sport even more so than they already have it. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, like I said, Churchill realizes they have the rights to the biggest race probably in the world. And my opinion of this point system, although I think it's good, I think it goes back to them saying, hey, look, guys, don't forget, we own the race. We'll set the rules, and we'll make it as advantageous to us as a corporation as we can. And if you go through those races and you see the races that get them in, it does favor Churchill Downs, and I don't blame them. I mean, they that's their signature race. That's what brings in the majority of their revenue, and they get to make it as advantageous as possible for them. So they hold all the cards. Don't forget that.
Well, Brian, we really appreciate you giving us your, horse racing update. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, love the show. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you. Thank you. So that's interesting. It's a strategic move. I like the city of Louisville being aggressive. They missed out on that theme park thing. Darn. Who cares? That's not good for the economy to miss out on that.
It was going to close down after 6 years anyways.
So I like seeing, hearing that Churchill Downs is trying to kind of cash in on the fact that the
young center's in debt. You might as well get some kind of cash going somewhere through the city, right?
What's your take on that, Danielle?
On what, the Churchill Downs thing?
Or what's your take on missing out on the water park or the theme park?
I'm not going to go because I'm not a teenager and I don't have children and I'm not going to hang out at a theme park. Unless it's really good, and by the way, the one...
I like roller coasters, so I'm definitely not going.
Kentucky Kingdom, not really good. Like, I'll go to Kings Island and go to Cedar Point. That's fine.
Holiday World would be that way.
No, Holiday World in Indiana, and I try not to go there.
Holiday World would be what we had here.
No, they said the Holiday World, they weren't going to make it like Holiday World. They're going to keep it as is.
It was like Bluegrass
Bluegrass Boardwalk.
Dumb name, by the way. I hope they're listening. This is why it didn't work out, because they just weren't thinking.
I hate roller coasters. I will never, ever go to theme parks.
Yeah, I'm not talking about you guys and your opinions of roller coasters.
Are you scared?
Sorry, we just went that way.
I love them.
I wouldn't go on a Saturday and go on roller coasters all day. I have no problem going on them. Are you afraid of them?
I'm afraid of heights.
Wow.
Do you fly?
Yeah, I fly. I can fly. I can do all this stuff. I just would rather stay off a roller coaster.
Okay.
I might lose my foot. I don't know. Anyways, this is Weekend Sports Show. Let's get to a break. Myself, Todd Doug, Daniel Sheldon, and co-captain.
My name is Rich. You look like a girl from Abercrombie and Fitch. Kids on the block, cat a bunch of Chinese food makes me sick. Fly away, stop pop for the summer. I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch. I say goodbye, one bitch. She can be tossing that summer.
to the Weekend Sports Buzz on 1450 AM.
I got my first real six string, blowing out the fire and gun, getting it to my fingers, with the real 69.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. I think I got the song to figure it out. I mean, I didn't put much effort into trying to find out the song theme.
Yeah. That thinking these are really easy, but I'm going to tell you.
Tyler, so I had to make it. Actually, this is a Brad Steen recommendation, so if it's easy, blame it on him. No, I prefer Brad Steen's recommendations.
I'm going to tell you, if you were just listening and not watching on iHigh, I'm going to tell you, Tyler did the lamest thing that I've ever seen, which is play like, you know, really cool looking air guitar to Bryan Adams. Like, that is the least cool thing anyone has ever done.
I don't know who Bryan Adams is. I don't even know what that song is. I don't listen to music. I've had the same 6 CDs in my CD changer for at least 2 years. I bought the Land Rover, put them in there, and they haven't came out.
I have a Bryan Adams album on vinyl if you would like to.
No, I don't.
If you would like to listen to it.
If I can do the worst air guitar, you know, and juggle fists. Anyways, let me get the advertisement out there real quick. Women's for West Side Road, 4 great golf courses, 1 great price. Get 18 holes of golf and a cart rental at Heritage Hills, Glen Mary Country Club, Woodhaven Country Club, and Jeffersonville Elks Country Club. It's a $150 value for $75. Again, WiggingForWest.org. I'm sure we started with $75. We're probably down to just the slim pickings. Get one today. It's Father's Day. You know, I'm sure a lot of you haven't got your gifts yet. Get on there and get $75. WiggingForWest.org. And of course, starting tomorrow, Oxmoor, Ford, Lincoln, and St. Matthews are hooking you up. If you want some free lunch, which I might take advantage of this, looking for free lunch. Test drive any new Lincoln at Oxmoor Lincoln, and we'll get a free lunch or 2 at Vincenzo's restaurant, only at Oxmoor Lincoln, next to the Oxmoor Mall. Again, that's in St. Matthews. Tell them you heard us on 1450 Sports Buzz, and they will hook you up with Vincenzo's for 2. Right, okay. Man, you want to go get test drive at Lincoln and go have a nice little lunch together?
Aw, it's a mandate.
I don't know that. I didn't talk about business, KentuckySports.co business and stuff. Sure, good things. Are you paying? No, it's free.
Not dress.
It's free. It's you test drive at Lincoln at Oxmoor for Lincoln, and they'll hook you up. I have plans today, Tyler. Thanks for the offer. All right. Well, maybe I'll take my dad to Oxmoor for Lincoln, and we'll go out to lunch for free. You should. Happy Father's Day. You should.
Actually, you should probably not take him with you to the dealership, because then he might think you're cheap.
No, he knows I'm very cheap.
Well.
Everybody knows I'm very cheap.
I would, get the free thing and be like, hey, Dad, look what I'm buying you for.
Have you wished your dad Happy Father's Day yet? Yeah, go talk to him after Ryan woke me up this morning. Okay. I was just hoping that you hadn't, so we could call him while I'm there. I think that'd be pretty cool. That would be cool, but no. Dad, Happy Father's Day. Do not call in.
Call in.
Let's get into it. Come up 11:30. Jesse Dorsey from Bleacher Report. Is that correct? Yep. Jesse Dorsey about the NBA. Talk about some NBA. We haven't touched on that at all. It's the playoffs are tonight, actually, which was kind of weird. It should have been last night. And of course, at 11:45, Garrett Tucker to update us all locally on the UK-UVA recruiting. Little fans keeping those rails on because you're going to get a lot of updates. Quentin Snyder, Anton Gill, Jaquan Lyle. There's a few other guys out there that you'll be interested in. A lot of Louisville flavor at that top 100 camp that just finished last night. But NBA playoffs, obviously, it gets underway tonight. Heat and Thunder Game 3. Me and Danielle are both on the Heat train. I believe, Kelly, you're a Thunder. I would like to see the Thunder win. I'd prefer the Thunder win. You prefer it? I prefer the Heat win, so I don't have to listen to Skip Bayless and all these dumb people on ESPN and all these talking heads that are just so absurd that 32 points a game isn't good enough. I'm tired of it. LeBron is a beast. He's 26, 27 years old. He's got more accomplished than Michael Jordan was at this time. 3 NBA Finals. He's going to win this year. Michael Jordan's the best player in history. He's my favorite player. Don't call in.
They're very different.
They're very different. I know. Michael Jordan's the best, the greatest, my all-time favorite athlete. So 3 or 4, 14, 50, Arsenal for all-time. If you want to get into NBA talk with Danielle. No, that's a legit case. Sorry. Danielle, are you excited for Game 3 tonight?
I am incredibly excited.
You are. You got your TV back.
My cable.
Finally back.
I can watch like Euro Cup all day, and then I can go to Heat and Thunder. It's like
Tiger tonight.
Like Christmas and Tiger too.
Hopefully Tiger.
He's gonna come back.
Exactly.
But I mean, I'm Heat all the way. I actually just looked at ESPN.com. On their front has like the poll who's gonna win Game 3, Heat and Thunder. It's got Heat, I think 55, Thunder 45. And I was just looking at the little Sports Nation map. Kentucky is leaning Heat.
course they are.
Wow.
Of course, LeBron's a Heat guy. Of course they are.
Hawaii, strongly for the Thunder.
If LeBron was Kentucky, I mean, Oklahoma City did work out in Lexington.
I mean, if you're a Kentucky fan, this is your finals, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Thunder.
That's what it is.
We win championships in Lexington. Kentucky won it, and the Oklahoma City Thunder they have a chance to win it after working on Lexington, Kelly, right? Sure.
I think that'll be the first person they thank if the Thunder get the title.
They should.
Like,
Calipari.
I just want to thank the fine people of Lexington, Kentucky.
Because I know you guys are being sarcastic, I won't make a big deal out of it.
Okay, that's fine. But in the playoffs, we're game 3. I think tonight it's going to be the Heat, because it's the first game on the road, for the Thunder in this playoffs. It's going to be tough to win. The next 3 games, it's going to be tough to win. I think they will get one on the road. I don't think they'll get any more than that down against the Heat at home. They're tough to take down. But I think the key is, again, it's down low with Chris Bosh. He's got a continuous physicality against Kendrick Perkins, Serge Ibaka. Those 2 guys, they're down low. They're tough to take down. You got Joel Anthony for the Heat. He's got to come in off the bench and contribute a little bit. I mean, if you look at the past stats, you got the Heat, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Shane Battier. They all had good, great double-figure scoring, and everybody else had nothing. You got to have some team contribution. Obviously, if Battier continues to play as he did, and they're going to be, I don't know if the Thunder can beat them again. Honestly, I think the Heat are too good, but they got Kevin Durant, the best player in the playoffs, in my opinion, left. I think he's the best guy in the finals over LeBron as a basketball player, shooting, scoring, fourth quarter. Kelly, tonight, what are your key for the Thunder? Is it Russell Westbrook playing smarter, not taking 27 shots and only making 10 of them? What's it got to be?
I'd say it's got to be them exploiting the advantage underneath. I mean, they've got Kendrick Perkins, they've got Serge Ibaka. They've got a huge advantage under there.
But that's my battle in the key to my game. But that's the key, I think, for both of us. Have you got your care back? I'm excited for you. You can actually, you can digest this game.
Christmas over here.
Oh, happy Father's Day, James. Care back.
Yes.
Obviously, Nazem Muhammad is on the Thunder. Is that? He doesn't get much PT, they already got Kendrick Perkins and Serge Ibaka. Do you want the Thunder win maybe for Nazi, though?
It would be nice. I don't hate the Thunder. I love the Thunder. I love the Thunder. It's hard not to love the Thunder. They fight. They make it happen. And it's unbelievable to watch. And I really love them. But I love Nazi. How can you not love Nazi? Just a true fundamentals player. It's always lasted so long. They don't make those anymore.
No.
You gotta love Nazi. I like Nazi.
Oh yeah.
I met him multiple times. So he's a great guy too.
But the Thunder are great. So it's not like, if the Heat lose, I'm a Heat girl, but if the Heat lose, I'm not going to be upset.
I won't be upset either if the Heat lose.
Some jerk team.
But I will say that I would be correct on another thing to better my best sports year of my life. All right, Kelly?
Yeah, you're always right. And that brings me to a different topic. Last night while we were having
too many drinks,
Tyler honestly thinks that he could play for a single A baseball team.
I think I could go try out and make a single A baseball team.
He honestly thinks that. You've never seen
him maybe. Honestly, because there are some terrible people.
You don't know anything about it. There's some awful baseball players in single A.
Okay,
I know them.
If you could and you're not, you're foolish.
Okay?
You honestly think you could?
Yeah. I would have to work out, I have to train for like a year to get back in shape and whatnot, obviously.
The more I hear this talked about, the more it just sinks in. It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life.
Can we get some kind of a date where there's a tryout maybe down the road? Look it up and see how I do?
My buddy played for Florida.
I don't care about your buddy.
He said that cool. I asked him.
I don't care about your buddy.
Somebody call in and tell us what you think about this. Because Tyler is sincere right now. He's not. I assumed, he's been saying for months that he was kidding. I mean, he is dead serious. My buddy who played for Florida, I asked him how many guys that you played with at Florida ended up getting paid to play minor league baseball. He said 3.
I never said I was going to start. Never said I was going to ever get paid.
3 got paid off of Florida's team. Did you play college baseball?
No, I played college soccer. I had a variety of sports I did, unlike a lot of
people. So you could have gotten a full ride somewhere to play baseball?
Yeah, I had a full ride to St. Catherine to play baseball, but I chose full ride for soccer.
I don't know, man. It's just, we can let it go, but no, I want to go on
next and kind of ditch out my ass. Matt, for next week, we're going to find a tryout date, and I'm going to train, and I'm going to go do it. We're going to find it. If it's a year from now, I'm going to go do it.
This is great. I'm already loving this.
Yeah, take cameras.
We're going to go and cheer.
This might overtake the run, shit, and race here.
We're going to go. We're going to cheer.
Video.
I'm going to cheer. I'm for you. I want you to prove
And if I do, if I make it, can I punch you in the face as hard as I possibly can? Like, as you're
if you're not a bat boy, but you actually play for, like, the Lexington Legends.
I mean, what if I made the training, what if I went through, made the cut, and was on their practice team, before, maybe I didn't ever play.
You get paid.
What if I just got paid $100?
Then you can punch me in the face.
Yes. I'm going to go.
I'm going on record as saying there's no way that you can. No way.
If I don't, then darn, I didn't make it.
I mean, last night,
talk down your dreams, Tyler.
That's not my dream.
Do it.
You made some outlandish statements last night.
I made outlandish statements every night.
And that's okay. I respect it. You told me that if you and I were in a physical altercation, you would easily take me.
Oh, what set that up? You said easily. No, boxing match.
I'm okay with that. I don't actually mind that one. You may. I don't know.
Me, Kelly, Mark.
I'm not interested in it.
I would drop Mark.
You said that, and that one just goes off my shoulder. I don't care. I'm just giving you an example. I did hit you. I punched you in the shoulder. You punched me in the shoulder. But the one that bothers me is that he honestly thinks he can play minor league baseball. That is just, you're delusional.
Maybe.
If you honestly think that, I mean, Matt, what do you think? Do you think there's a good chance he'll end up being a utility guy for years in the minor league systems?
Yeah, instead of years. What if it's one day?
He's an excellent softball player, I'll tell you that.
How's the glove?
He's got a good glove, and a lot of times he likes to grab the ball with one hand. I don't know with his bare hand. I don't know if that's a good thing.
I got hands. I got gloves.
I honestly think you were literally just slapping all of the minor league baseball players in the country in the face. Could you play in the NBDL?
No, never.
Well, it's not that far off that you're saying.
I'm not 6 foot. I'm not even over 6 foot. That's a dumb comparison.
A little different.
That's a dumb comparison.
Okay, well, I'm just saying it's not that different.
Just because you're not good at sports doesn't mean I'm not.
This is real. Guys, all our listeners out there, this is sincere. Tyler honestly thinks he can play minor league baseball because he's good at softball.
You keep saying,
that's the most ridiculous thing.
I never once said softball. Matt's the only one that brought softball up.
Tyler, we can move on, but
let's move on because nobody cares about what I'm going to do next year to punch you in the face when it happens. Can we save this clip for a year down the road when you're
enjoying a long, fruitful professional baseball career?
Honestly, my money's on Tyler. I think you can do it.
Thank you, Danielle.
My money is not on Tyler at all. You guys are slapping and disrespecting everybody.
I know a few people that made single-A baseball, and I'm 130% better than them.
They're coming out of high school when they go into it, right?
Yeah, I'm better than
Kelly, I've seen the movie The Rookie, and it's possible.
They're coming out of high school. How long have you been out of high school?
5 years, 6 years.
And you think you can just say, I'm good. I can stimulate my professional baseball career.
Well, Brandon Whedon is 27, just getting out of college, going to start in the NFL as a rookie. I'm pretty sure a 25-year-old can do something for baseball, right? Thank you. Proven.
Off the couch.
That's what I just said. I would need about a year to train, get back in shape.
Do it. I'm just saying, I would love to.
I totally told you.
This is just over.
I was going to go to St. Catherine on Monday to try out, but I didn't make it because I knew I wouldn't make it. I'm not in shape right now. Yeah, it was Monday at St. Catherine.
What else? We got some good guests lined up.
This might be a good topic down the road.
Oh my God! There's no.
Bradstein said if I make it, he'll eat 3 ghost peppers, Matt. He's just messing me.
I'd like somebody to call in 384-1450. Tell us, do you think Tyler? I believe you're a good athlete. You're the best goalie in the state.
I don't care about soccer. We're talking baseball.
You're a good athlete.
Yes.
A lot of good athletes play Division I baseball. And not many of them get paid afterward to play professionally.
That's why we have to like girls. I'm sorry.
You didn't play Division I baseball.
I didn't. No, I didn't. I
never said a very small percentage of them play professional baseball afterward. Okay. We got some good guests. We got Jesse Dorsey from the Bleacher Report.
We'll see. He thinks I can make it. This is really making me mad. I will just try out. I'll go do it.
I'll do that. That's good. I like confident. I like it. I don't have a problem.
If you
honestly believe that, you just
twice.
No, if I can make it out of shape, it's way more than that. No, but again, we will get off that topic. I don't want to.
You've been saying this for months, and it's slowly built up, and I've been joking. Yeah, it's a joke. It's a good joke. I was laughing to myself. He always says it. He always goes back, I could play minor league baseball. And I'm, that's a good one. I honestly think that's funny. Last night I was convinced that you're dead serious.
Single A. Not double, not triple, single.
I don't think so. Hey, does Louisville Kentucky baseball team?
No, I don't want to. I don't care. I don't care.
You're better than any of those guys?
I want to ask you a question. Does rookie farm league count? That's minor league too.
You get paid to play professional baseball.
because rookies easy to make the minor leagues. Yeah, let's get back on NBA. Get off my skills and whatnot. Danielle, you look like you're just.
It's adorable over here watching you two spat for absolutely.
We went at it. We go. I don't know, but
you're arguing over an incredible hypothetical.
He brought it up. I wasn't gonna bring it up.
I did bring it up. It's sunk in, and it's not leaving me. I mean, you honestly think it, and that's good. It's good to be eccentric and over the top. That's good. It's good to be a radio persona. But the fact that you honestly think it, I mean, it's over the top. I mean, that's over the top.
Looks like Matt wants us to quit this.
It's the Weekend Sports Buzz with my minor league self, Tyler Blake, Kelly Patrick, Daniel Chip.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz on 1450
Welcome back to Weekend Sports Buzz. It's going to be a quick segment, about 10 minutes. We got a guest coming up here at 11:30. Jesse Dorsey from Bleacher Report. We're going to talk to him, get some professional input of the NBA Game 3 Heat Thunder.
I know we just got off a heated conversation. We're not going to get back on.
Yeah, we shouldn't get back on it because I have strong feelings about it.
Very strong feelings. I want to get out real quick. Yesterday, of course, we had Moby Akwilake join us. We appreciate that. He's coming here Friday, July 13th at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium, 6:30 to 8. The kickoff for Kids Gala. It's a great cause. You can check that out on the website, www.kickoff4kids.org. Help donate to Moby's local charity here in Louisville. He comes back, and he's coming back every year. Again, it's July 13th. We appreciate Moby for joining us. And before we get to the end of the show, all of our guests won't be able to get this out. Of course, it's Father's Day. 4 great golf courses, 1 great price. Get a round of golf. That's 18 holes in a golf rental at Heritage Hills, Glenmary Country Club, Woodhaven Country Club, and Jeffersonville Elks Country Club. $75. It's a total of $150. You're getting it, for half price. It's a great steal at livingforless.org. Danielle, you're excited about the Euro Cup. I am too. Have you been paying attention online to it at all?
A little bit. All the good games happen when I'm at work, which is really dumb. But I got to watch England and Sweden yesterday, which was an awesome game. Yes.
3-2.
Yes, it was an awesome game.
We were here doing a show, and every time I look back at the TV, there'd be another goal. I was getting scared.
Yeah.
I'm going for England to win the Euro Cup. That's where the roots are from. But I got to stick with the
France girl.
You're going for France?
My three favorite teams are England, France, and Sweden, which are all in the same group this year.
Yes, they are. That's weird.
Yeah, so they're all in the same group. But I love England too.
I think the final pool play games are finally about finished. I think they're all in the last game with some of my done, and then the actual tournament will get going on. Denmark versus Germany at 2:30 today. Check that out. And Portugal and the Netherlands, 2:30 as well. ESPN3, ESPN. The other one's ESPN2. A full day of soccer. You got full day of sports really. You got the College World Series going on. Stony Brook, the underdog Stony Brook versus Florida, who your buddy played for, Kelly. I believe you work with, right? Only 3 people went to get paid for it? Or do we need to get back on that? Maybe we should bring him on one day and talk to him about college athlete. What's it take, right? Mm-hmm. Seriously. And how he's he's the ex-former pitcher for it. I'd be glad to have him on. And then, of course, tonight, the Heat game, everybody's excited, and the U.S. Open. It's another full Sunday of sports. I'm excited. Kelly, are you excited? You don't look excited. You still look bad.
No, I'm fine. I'm actually reading this NBA article from Jesse Dorsey, who we're going to have on 11:30. It's real neat, and it's always difficult. That top 10 list really kind of brought to light how difficult it is to compare eras. And that's difficult.
The KentuckySports.co thing you're talking about, right?
Yes. Yeah. Top 10 most significant Kentucky sport figures by Under Arnberg. But it's difficult to compare eras. So I'm reading this article that Jesse Dorsey from the Bleacher Report, he'll be on at 11:30 with us. He wrote this article. What he did was he broke down the NBA champions historically. He put them together, 65 teams. Let's see here. This is the 66th year, if you count if you count all of the titles. Regardless, he got 65 total NBA champions, seeded them, had a formula, seeded them, went down and made a tournament, a bracket. And he went down and he broke down each game. The 96 Bulls would play against the lowest seeded team in the whole thing. And really neat.
Obviously the best team ever, the 96 Bulls, for sure. Right?
Yeah, that's what his article is.
So I think that's what he's going with, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he is. The 86 Celtics are real good. Who would they say is better?
The 86 Celtics, maybe the Lakers in the 80s as well, one of their teams. I think the 96 Bulls, since that's who I grew up, Jordan, I think they are the best team, but who knows?
I think you can make a case, and I'll be honest, I haven't read all 72 pages of this. I mean, this is very thorough. He's not messing around with it.
It's like on Danielle's post on KentuckySports.co. Very thorough.
Which is awesome. It's he really broke each game down, and I mean, he did. He came up with the 96
but I think it's awesome. I'm sorry. Nick Wawenda, did you see the guy who walked across Niagara Falls? Anybody?
Yep.
Did you see that thing? That was the dumbest thing. He had a thing on. If you didn't have a harness on, he'd been legit. He said Everyone should pursue their dream and goal, no matter what anybody says.
Okay. Yours is to play minor league baseball. I
now have a new role model. It's the tightrope walker.
The idiot who tightrope walked across Niagara Falls.
It's actually your 72-page biography.
If we keep talking about this, man, I don't know. I mean, yeah, go do it.
Yeah, well,
okay, yeah, that's your dream.
When I'm not here on the weekends anymore, you know why? You'll be training. Be training.
Honestly, if you can do it, I would do it. Are you crazy if you're not? I mean, do it. I would be awesome to be a professional baseball player.
I wouldn't call myself professional.
If my friend could become professional in any sport, that's the one I would choose.
Question. This is a legitimate question. If you make this squad, and then, you start moving up in the ranks because you're so talented, and then suddenly you're called up to the majors.
Then Kelly's
St. Louis.
Going down.
What would you do?
Oh, the Cardinals, I'm going home.
Would you play?
I'm walking off.
Maybe I should become
I'm pulling a Kenny Powers and totally just dropping the ball at the mound and not playing for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I don't play for Cardinals.
Maybe,
I'm kidding. I would totally take a contract.
I totally would too.
No. I would totally take that contract. But no, I would never even think about going to the pros because I know I'm nowhere near that good. I can't hit the ball far enough yet.
Do you think I should just up and become an astronaut?
No, you are far from an astronaut. First off, your past wouldn't allow you to be an astronaut. Sorry.
I don't have
past from like last night.
Prohibit me from doing anything.
Your past from like last night would not allow you to. What's this? We're gonna have guests the last two. Oh, so you were gonna go? You all playing? You know it already, anyway.
It's summer.
It's summer.
Summertime. Write it down. We don't need to.
Summertime theme. I like it.
We all tied. I got one. Thanks, Brad.
I'm liking the summer. I'm liking it. I mean, it's nice out. The weather's great. Is that
disappointed that I just got that one too? Now you did.
Now I'm proud of you. You're learning. That was really. What is these noises?
What was that? Was that you? No, that wasn't me. No.
You're like playing
awesome
noises.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're doing, that's our theme we do every Sunday for the rejoin music. Didn't work out too well today. Didn't work out too well. Thanks a lot, Steam.
You need to make them a little bit harder because if you do that, I will.
I get them. It's just not good.
Yeah.
Because I don't listen to music. I don't. But of course, let's go and get to our break. Let's get our guests on. Let some people get some true talk here. NBA playoffs coming up. We're going to talk about. We'll do it. Jesse Dorsey from BleacherReport.com, get his endpoint of the Heat and Thunder, and then at 11:45, Garrett Tucker to talk locally, UKU Ball Recruiting. We'll be right back. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz. Weekend Sports Buzz on 1450 AM.
Riding in the drop down for the fish and the drinking to the red light, riding in the fish and the drinking to tell me where you're from, what you do, what you like, and the
Sunday edition here with me, Danielle Chilton, Patrick, Tyler Floyd, some Justin Timberlake there. I'm a little sad that we didn't have.
You're back.
Cut me off. Now I'm breaking a little news. Apparently, cut me
We're
off.
off, Matt. We're off, Matt. No, we're not. Keep talking.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to break news without being able to hear myself. But apparently, Rodney King, a famous victim of the LA riots back in '91, beating victim by the police.
He was a heavy drinker. Was on celebrity rehab, but apparently he was found dead at the bottom of a pool this morning.
It's horrible.
Which, it's absolutely awful. I know he's had a rough life, a lot of demons to live down. So rest in peace, Rodney King.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Certainly a very significant guy from the.
Oh yeah. I mean, he had tons. Did you ever watch the Celebrity Rehab?
I did. Yeah, I saw.
I did. Yeah, he's a lot of demons, and he worked really hard to get over them. But I don't know. I guess he's 47 years old.
Not to cut you off there, Danielle.
Yeah.
We do have a call. I can't really hear right now. Okay,
I can't hear anything. I'm just going with it.
Jesse, are you there?
Oh, I'm here.
Great. We got Jesse Dorsey. Let's see here. Little trouble. Still can't hear him.
All right.
No.
What are your thoughts on the upcoming game?
Jesse, if you can hear us, we'll be back with you and briefly once we get this straightened out. We apologize.
That's no problem.
It does. It looks like we need to head to a commercial break, I believe, but we'll certainly, talk to Jesse and about what I think is this great article that he wrote where he broke down all the NBA champions, 65 teams, put them into a tournament, a bracket type deal, and he had the 96 Bulls winning. Not a surprise.
It's a whole lot of work for a hypothetical.
No.
I kind of admire that.
It's
something
awesome.
I would do.
Very well written.
Something I would do.
It's awesome. I mean, I love comparing eras. I mean, it's so difficult to do. Would the Bulls, I honestly think that Kobe and Shaq in their prime would have given the Bulls a run for their money because Shaq was so dominant, he could have dominated Luke Longley. I can't hear.
Yeah, we can't hear anything. I mean, we're just going with it. No, but I mean, I'd like to read. I'm going to read it when I get. Well, I guess I could probably read it now.
It's all 72 pages.
Well, I mean, I do read quickly. I was a gifted youth. I was a gifted child in my days. But I mean, it's just it's very interesting.
I mean, do you think Luke Longley could hold Shaq?
And like in the prime.
Yeah, and
prime Luke Longley and prime Shaq.
The criteria he created is they're taking the team the second they win their title.
Okay.
And they're taking them in their prime right then.
I'm still taking Shaq.
You're taking the Lakers over.
I never liked Luke Longley, so it's a little bit.
Well, I mean, they still had Bill Wennington and James Edwards on that team. So
yeah.
They had Rodman, Heckling. Shaq was in the league at that time. It's not like Shaq wasn't there. He wasn't a part of the team. He was on the Magic.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know. I think with Shaq and a healthy Derek Fisher, a younger Derek Fisher, Kobe Bryant, those are the two that jump into my mind. I haven't read his entire.
And those Laker teams from back in the day were great teams.
They were.
The Lakers are so hateable in a way. They're so hateable. It's easy to hate the Lakers, but those teams were really.
You can't deny though that they're one of the best teams.
They dominated for years, just like the Bulls did. I don't think they were as good as those Bulls teams, but they were dominating for years.
Sounds like I can hear us talking now, so I don't know exactly how that went. We appreciate our listeners sticking with us. Jesse, are you on the line? Okay, Jesse's off the line. We'll get him back on.
All right, we're going to set it back up.
Oh, we're going to talk to him right now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
No, we're gonna get him back on possibly over the week. I talked to him, and obviously the phone just. Hopefully, the next caller works.
Yeah, it's sounding like it's fixed, but regardless, it's a great read. Jesse Dorsey, a sports journalism student at the Ohio University, which, despite me having many familial ties to, Danielle just told me she does not like the Bobcats.
Not no you fan. I'm just not.
She went to Xavier, and somehow she developed a hatred for one of the most likable universities in the country.
No, I mean, it might be a great school. It might have great. I've known a lot of people that have gotten there, and they're just not they're not my kind of people. We'll just put it that way. We don't have the same priorities in life.
So you're just generalizing a whole university.
Well, yes. And every once in a while I meet someone, because, I'm in Ohio a lot. I'll meet someone who went to OU, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll give this person a chance. Maybe they're one of the good ones.
And they always let you down.
And then they just prove to be one of the worst. So, I've been jaded. Jaded by the Bobcats.
Bold statement, but, what Danielle and I were talking about while we were having our technical difficulties, I don't know if our listeners were able to hear us. We were talking about, I was making the point that with Shaq healthy right after they won the title, their first title, a healthy Kobe. I mean, do you think they could give the 96 Bulls a run for the money? I do. Who's going to hold Shaq dropping 40 and 20?
Robert Horry, Rick Fox, that team?
Yeah, I'd have to bring up the exact roster, but I don't know. Yeah, that team. When they're all in their prime.
Matt, is this Jesse Dorsey? Okay, cool. Jesse's there?
I'm here.
Oh, awesome. Looks like we got it fixed. Good. I didn't want to not talk to you. Let's get right into it. The NBA playoffs, obviously, the game through Thunder and Heat tonight. What is the key to tonight's game? Who's going to pull this one out?
Key to tonight's game. Well, I got to say, past two games, two guys that decided the game. Game one, Nick Collison won the game for the Thunder. Game two, it was Chris Bosh for the Heat.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to go one of those two guys. If Chris Bosh has another good game, it's going to be him. If it's going to be the Heat. If it's Nick Collison, it's going to be the Thunder.
Yeah, I've looked into this. I think it's what I thought is obviously, like you said, Chris Bosh game two is dominant. I think Chris Bosh has to keep up his physicality down low against the Thunder to allow the Heat to win. If not, I think the Thunder could pull it out. I am going with the Heat. Obviously, with Jesse Dorsey from BleacherReport.com here. What are your thoughts of LeBron? Obviously, a lot of national people in the fourth quarter comes around. He's already averaging over 3. He's averaging over 30 of his career. Is this LeBron's, like, I don't know exactly how to say it. What does he need to do? Does he need to do more, I guess?
He needs to do more if his team needs him to do more, I guess is what I could say to that. I think, at this point, LeBron James is the guy that the Heat need to turn on in the fourth quarter because Dwayne Wade has been as streaky as he's ever been this playoffs. So I think this is the series that we're going to judge LeBron on for the next couple of years. Last year, when he didn't show up in Dallas, Dwayne Wade bailed him out a few times, but obviously they went on losing, and then of course the whole firestorm on him being unclutch or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, LeBron definitely needs to do more in this series, but I think in the first two games, well, the first game he didn't do enough, obviously, but in the second game he did enough with his magical shots falling somehow to get the team by, even though the Thunder nearly pulled it out there. So I think he probably needs to do more for the team in the fourth quarter, but as long as he's doing what he does in the first three quarters to get his team that far ahead, I don't know how much you really can harp on the guy. Of course, he's not Michael Jordan. He's not going to drain every shot in the fourth quarter. And he's not that guy that we remember back in 2008 when he was just hitting shots in the fourth quarter like crazy.
Once again, we have Jesse Dorsey from the BleacherReport.com. I know it's the middle of the NBA Finals. I'm looking over, Jesse, this great research piece that you wrote. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of the premise of this and kind of, I guess, summarize what exactly you did?
Basically, what it was every NBA champion in the past 65 years, including back when they were the BAA for the first 3 years. And I ranked each team according to their regular season record and their playoff record, little aggregate there. And then, of course, on top came the 96 Bulls. I went 1 through 65, threw them in a little 65-team tournament, and then played it all out in I played it all out, and we ended up with a pretty exhausting read.
Which is great. It's a great research piece. I'll admit I haven't read it all, but I do plan on reading it. I read the first, the premise of it, the description of it. My contention in the break, and while our listeners may have heard, I don't know, was that a healthy Shaq and Kobe-led Lakers, their first title, I think they would give the Bulls a run for the money. Obviously, it's all subjective, and it's even difficult to compare eras, even though they weren't even that far apart. What do you think? Who would have guarded Shaq? A healthy Shaq?
Shaq would have eaten up any big man that the Bulls threw at him. I guess you could say Bill Winnington was big enough to stand there and give him 6 hard fouls, maybe make him go to the line. They would have to play hack Shaq, and I feel like 1996 Phil Jackson would be able to outwit 2000 Phil Jackson.
Ah.
I think that would be the most interesting matchup right there. Phil Jackson versus Phil Jackson.
That would be pretty intense. That would be an awesome matchup. Seeing I guess in 4 years, 5 years isn't much of a difference, but it is a difference. Different teams. You brought up Phil Jackson. Word on the street is he may be interested in coming back to coaching again. Could you see that happening?
I think he's definitely coming back. I just don't have any idea where he's going to come back. I don't even think the Knicks really thought too hard into getting him, actually. The past couple of days he's been ripping on the Knicks, the Amari-Carmelo combination, and not going to work out. But I don't know, the Knicks kind of seem set with where they are. They're going to let it roll out, see how it all shakes out. And I don't think there's any way he's going to want to coach in Orlando.
No, I was actually thinking, what if the Heat end up losing in Thunder in the finals? They're obviously going to say, we don't like Spoelstra for some reason. What about him going and coaching the other top NBA player of all time, LeBron? He's already had Jordan and Kobe.
That's entirely possible. And I mean, you got to figure the last 2 times he came to a team that was already set up for him, it was set up so that he could win a title, basically. He just needs to come in and level some head, ease some minds, and just knock it all together, do his magic. And he very well could come to the Heat if they decide Spoelstra's not good enough. But I don't know. The only concern I have there, I don't know if Pat Riley would want to be outshined by a coach that's better than him. That's
an excellent point. Pat's got a high ego to himself. Obviously, he's right here from Kentucky, where we are here in Louisville. Obviously, we're coming up on a break in just a moment since we had technical difficulties. I wanted to ask you quickly about the draft. There's a couple of things. Obviously, Anthony Davis, he's going number 1. But the 2-3 spot are kind of up for grabs. Harrison Barnes, maybe Michael Gilchrist to Charlotte and the Wizards. Have you got any thoughts of where those guys might be heading?
Most interesting thing I've heard recently is Sacramento is actually talking about taking and trading Tyreek Evans for that second pick that Charlotte has straight up, and taking Kid Gilchrist there. And I think that would be an excellent trade for both teams, actually, because I mean Tyreek's no superstar, but he's a player that can score for him, something they haven't really had. And I mean Michael Kid Gilchrist, he's such a hard worker. He would actually bring that team together, I think, and kind of ease DeMarcus Cousins' mind. And then 3, I think it all depends on who they want to take there. I'm thinking either Thomas Robinson or Bradley Beal there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, I would agree.
Right, and then going on down. Obviously, the Cavs at number 4. I think their top priority there is either shooting guard or small forward, which would be perfect with Bradley Beal or Harrison Barnes.
Definitely. Well, Jesse, we would love to have you on again. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but
no worries, though.
Thank you very much for coming on. Hopefully, you will continue the long line, Danielle, the long line of great sports journalists. You got, I know he's not a sports journalist, Matt Lauer. You got Sports Side. You got Tom Brenneman, Peter King, and now you got Jesse Dorsey. I mean, am I leaving anyone off that list, Jesse? I'm sure you know.
I think you got them all. I'm not really sure. I think you might want to put me a little higher there.
Yeah, I would agree. You know your stuff very well. Again, Jesse, we appreciate you joining us after the technical difficulties.
No worries, man.
Have a good one, man.
You too.
Thanks. Great stuff.
Great stuff. He's good.
He really is. Jesse Dorsey from BleacherReport.com. Stick with us. We're going to come back and get Garrett Tucker on to get you updated on your wrestling recruiting podcast.
I can't wait to fall in love with you. You can't wait to fall in love.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz on 1450 AM.
Cool town, Union City, just so bad and looking so pretty. Cool cat.
We're back, final segment of the Weekend Sports Buzz. We got you one more quick guest, getting us updated local and UK, U of L realm of things. Garrett Tucker, how you doing this morning, my man? Garrett, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I guess we got Garrett Tucker from Future150.com, isn't that right?
Yes, sir, yeah, Future 150.
Future 150, I know you've just recently joined them, if I'm correct.
Yeah, we're rather new. It's a new rival scout kind of thing. We've been up since, late April, so, it's a new experience and everything, but it's definitely, we hit the ground running and everything. We're just seeing a lot of great basketball so far this spring and early summer.
Oh, yes, sir. We're right here in the heart of the Louisville, Kentucky realm of things. We love it. Obviously, the NBA Top 100 camp just got wrapped up out in Virginia. Your team was there. You got some updates. I wanted to ask you first on the Louisville guys, Anton Gill and Quentin Snyder. I hear that they were playing well and they performed well against the other guys.
Yeah, actually, Anton Gill, he's a kid I've really grown to like here this spring. Everybody labels him as a great shooter and everything, and that is something he is. But he's also, beginning to show he can score in a variety of ways, whether it be A mid-range jumper, threes. I know people are going crazy because he caught a one-handed alley-oop at the NBA Top 100 camp. Anton Gill, he's definitely, impressed, and, he's definitely, showing that he has the ability to go up in rankings and all. And then, Quentin Snyder as well. Quentin, I'll be honest, I never was really high on him, but, he has really shown that he knows what it needs to be for point guard and everything. He's a pass-first guy, knows where the ball needs to go and everything, and, he just continues to develop. And, if Coach Pitino can have those two guys and accompanying those with other players, say a Jordan Mickey or something, Louisville, they're going to be set for a couple of years and with a great backcourt.
Definitely. I appreciate you coming on, Garrett. This is good stuff. One question. I love your accent, for starters. I love you got the Alabama thing going on. How are you cover recruiting, basketball recruiting, living in Alabama? Why not football?
Oh, it is tough, everybody around here, eats and sleeps football. It's definitely, I guess you could say I'm the black chicken in the world of the white chickens. I'm definitely out of the loop most of the time, but, I live in a basketball-centered community too, but it is all football, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I saw that you were down in Alabama. Obviously the camp. Give us a name that we haven't heard of, a newcomer that kind of, made himself a name over the past weekend.
As far as, Kentucky and Louisville recruiting go, Noah Vonla, he's definitely one of the premier players, but people were kind of, raising an eyebrow whenever he mentioned Kentucky and everything had been, interested in him and with his AU coach. But, also, Akoi Agawa from, Nebraska, he is definitely, matured into a great big man too. Louisville's actually interested in him. I believe Coach Pitino called him very early, Thursday night, Friday morning, right whenever they could. He's definitely developing, getting a lot of interest from schools like Georgetown, UConn, Louisville, Nebraska. The list goes on and on.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I actually saw I'm not even going to try to pronounce the guy's second name, but I saw that, Pitino and the staff, contact him as soon as they could. What might be a guy Louisville fans want to keep up on. And, of course, on the Kentucky side of things, Garrett, the Harrison twins, how did they perform?
Well, I'm sure as most everybody knows, the reason they were at the NBA camp was because they got cut from Team USA.
Yes.
And, Aaron got hurt Friday night, I think it was, and I think that kind of really, nothing serious, but it kind of plagued him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But Andrew Harrison played like a man on a mission. I know there was people talking about it, and Aaron was just, he was playing with a chip on his shoulder. He says the first time I've ever been cut from a team, and he was definitely upset. He averaged 6.3 assists per game. That's double what anybody else had compared to Louisville's own D'Angelo Russell and Dan Minfield. So, and, he was just impacting the game without even having to score, but he would score too. So, Andrew is definitely showing that he is one of the top players in his class, if not the best.
Tell me, if he's the best, tell me what your take on why was he cut from the USA team?
There's, so much, people say the Harrisons are cocky and everything like that. I don't know. I can't really give you a good reason as to, just say maybe their game doesn't really fit the national or the international game. I know, like especially with the big men nowadays, you have these Dirk Nowitzki type players that can shoot, and the Harrisons, they're not the best shooting guards out there. But that's the only logical reason I can think of. They didn't fit the game really well. Other than that, the coaching staff is just crazy to have, 2 6'5", 6'6" guards that are NBA ready and, so physical. But, that's the only reason I can really see this logical.
Yeah, that's probably a good point. Garrett, quickly before we let you go, we're show's about to wrap up. NBA Finals going on. Who's going to pull that one out? Do you have a favorite?
I wish that he would win so people would get off LeBron's back, but I think, the Thunder, they're so, so talented and everything. It's going to be tough to knock off the Thunder.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Me and Danielle here, we're wanting LeBron to win, like you said, to get the heat off his back. Well, Garrett, the show's coming up. I really appreciate you taking out a few minutes of your time to join us and give us a quick little update, and we'll definitely be getting you on the road.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for the time.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Good stuff there.
Good stuff. Garrett Tucker from always good. I don't want to say the site wrong, Matt. Always Future 150. Future 150. I always think it's Future Top 50 something. Future150.com. He really does. He's on there. I've checked it out yesterday.
Yeah, he seems to obviously knows his stuff. I hadn't heard of many of those.
Straight from Bama.
I love it. Good accent.
Did you like that one?
Sound like a basketball recruiter.
I'm not a big accent person.
Danielle liked Jesse Dorsey's voice, but not the accent voice.
I'm just.
You like Graham McDowell? Look at that accent.
Okay, I didn't say I was in love with him. I like European accents. I don't really like Southern accents. They make me uncomfortable, and we don't have enough time to go into this. I have a whole entire rant.
We don't even want to know. I like how you asked him the realm of how you're a basketball guy in the heart of football country. It's good. Why would he be blogging about football? He just loves basketball.
Apparently he lives in a basketball-centric part of Alabama.
You should have asked, why do you hate football so much? That's actually
just trying to create some controversy. Yeah. You obviously hate your home state and its tradition. You hate Bear Bryant.
he hates Champ. No, I bet he's just living.
He reads the stuff. That's good stuff there. I mean, I didn't know the Harrison. I mean, I don't follow recruiting. I don't claim to. I
don't follow as much as I normally have recently. John's been stepping up the recruiting for us.
I don't have a problem with following recruiting. I think it's awesome. I don't follow it at all. I didn't know the Harrison twins were cut from Team USA.
I did know that. I knew they got cut. I did not know why. Obviously, nobody really knows unless you're a coach. But cockiness. I'm a big fan of cockiness. I hope you are.
Montrezl Harrell made it while they were cut. So
he had 2 points.
Montrezl Harrell is better than the Harrison twins.
I guess his 2 points and 2 rebounds were better, right?
Oh yeah.
1 for 7 from the free throw line. That's awful. You think that's good?
That's awful.
Hey, it's better than 0 of 7.
Tyler could hit 6 of 7 every day.
I did 7 of 7. Come on, Kelly. No, for real. It's been a fun show. One more time, it's Father's Day. So get on livingforless.org. Get your father this package. $75 for 4 great golf courses: Heritage Hills, Glenmary Country Club, Woodhaven Country Club, and Jeffersonville Oaks Country Club. It's a value of $150 for $75. livingforless.org. Send your Father's Day off right. Danielle, you got plans today? Quickly? Father's Day?
Not really. I'm gonna take a nap. I might go to Qdoba with my daddy.
There you go.
I'll see if he wants to hang out.
He's probably busy. Well, it's been fun. Happy Father's Day to my man Matt and Kelly here. And this is the Weekend Sports Buzz. Check us out next week. We're going to be doing a live remote from Airport Park, we believe, on Saturday, 9 to 11. And, of course, we're here Sundays from 10 to 12. Thanks for listening.